Levin, Rudin, and Miniman. Anything with Miniman is worth getting. Rudess, not Rudin. Rudess, Levin, Miniman. Zucchero, what a great album. Zucchero and Friends. Jamiroquai. Mickey Hart, Planet Drum. More Planet Drum. Chicken Foot, interesting combo. Afro Celt, this is a really good CD. Tomita, Snowflakes Are Dancing. This is a classic, one of the first pioneers in synth music. Stephen Curtis Chapman. DC Talk and their album Jesus Freak. And then we got Michael W. Smith. And what is this band? Pentamental, never heard of them. River Sea. This is A Price Above Rubies, the soundtrack for that movie, which I guess because it's so good, I got the CD for it. Led Zeppelin minus disc 1, and then African Beat, don't know. So here goes the Jazz Infusion group. Bob James 2, Dave Sanborn, Straight from the Heart. Put Bob James and Dave Sanborn together and you get double vision. Billy Cobham's Spectrum should always come with Billy Cobham's Crosswinds. Boney James, Trust and Body Language. Gotta have a decent little collection of Pat Metheny. This is what started it all for this band way back in the 70s, early 70s. And so Pat Metheny, Imaginary Day, Pat Metheny Group, Pat Metheny Secret Story. This has got The Truth Will Always Be, Pat Metheny Group Live. First Circle is the feature song on that. Pat Metheny Group, The Way Up. Well played. Pat Metheny Group, The Way We, let's see, We Live Here. Chris Botti, great collection of songs here. Chris Botti, Night Sessions. Girl on drums on this album is excellent. Can't remember her name. Joe Sample from the Crusaders, fantastic album. Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, Wooten Brothers there. Special Effects, not their best album here, but their other stuff is excellent. Mystique especially. Here we go. Larry Carlton, the brain, one of the many brains behind Steely Dan. Eric Marienthal on sax, Chick Corea on keyboards. This group from San Diego, A View from the Edge. Gong. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, Mysterious Traveler, Weather Report, Herbie Hancock, Headhunters, Jean-Luc Ponty, Mirage, McCoy Tyner, great solo piano, alumnus from Bitches Brew, Jeff Beck, Guitar Shop, Terry Bozzio on drums, Shadowfax, Grover Washington Jr., Brand X, Phil Collins on drums, Skywalk from Vancouver, Architects of Change, Spencer Nilsson, Open Door, North from Riverside, and Flim and the BBs with Jimmy Johnson on bass, known as Flim, and Billy Barber on keyboard. Phil Collins, Brother Bear, Dance Into the Light. I got the live, very, very well played CD, Phil Collins. Serious Hits with the companion program. And then Testify, not that great of an album, but if you're a Phil Collins person, you gotta have it. So here's my coveted New Age ambient type collection. This is Helfling and Jenkins Treasure. This is Helfling, Sleeping on the Edge of the World. Has a great song on there called Worlds. This is The Crossing, Helfling and Jenkins. This is Between Green and Blue. This has really smooth music. David Helfling, Found, Helfling and Jenkins. And then there's Richard Souther, 12 Tribes, Cross Currents, Airborne, Intermission, Ralph Illenberger with interesting 12-string. Again, another album. So good, I had to get another one. I like the Narada Equinox stuff. Doug Cameron on Mil Amores violin. Dancing on the Edge, Bruce Mitchell. Andreas Vollenweider, harp with effects. I don't think anybody's done what Andreas has done. Narada the Wilderness Collection, and this is an excellent compilation. A lot of those other Narada Equinox characters, I got their recordings based on this. And it comes with a nifty little book. Big Blue Ball, produced by Peter Gabriel. Birdie soundtrack. Peter Gabriel Plays Live. Peter Gabriel Plays Live, Volume 2, Disc 2. This is Live Secret World. Peter Gabriel's Secret World. This is Peter Gabriel's groundbreaking album, So, with Red Rain. Peter Gabriel's Up. And Peter Gabriel's Us. Okay, these are in no particular order, but this is my Genesis collection. Live, gazed upon this cover many times. Can't avert my eyes from this. And yes, my first show seeing this band was this image from the balcony front row. Genesis is Nursery Crime. The Fountain of Salmakis on this. Selling England by the Pound put this band over the top. Genesis, The Way We Walk. And these, in this case, Volume 2, The Longs. These are live. This is that's a live thing. Where's the other one? Well, anyway, we'll find the shorts. That's The Longs. This is Invisible Touch. Wind and Wuthering. Every album is unique for this band. It's one of the drawings for me, is how they did things different for each album. Trick of the Tail, Phil Collins' first go as a frontman. And then there were three. Michael Rutherford said, "Ta-ta, I'm going to go play in a band called Mike and the Mechanics." And this is Genesis's self-titled. Gonna Get Better Again. I think that's the name of that song. Genesis, Abacab. That is a chord progression, A-B-A-C-A-B, Abacab. Genesis, Calling All Stations, their very last album, sans Phil Collins. Genesis, and by the way, I love that album. Genesis's We Can't Dance, their official last album with Phil. And then we got The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, This is the holy grail of progressive rock, folks, right there. The last Peter Gabriel album. Seconds Out, extremely well done, well recorded, produced live Genesis. And then we got some strange stuff here. This is a bunch of singles, which they didn't have much of. Tribute to Genesis. On here is a cinema show version by the Flower Kings. This is interesting. Genesis for 2 grand pianos. There's another one too by the same 2 dudes. Platinum Collection. And then here we go. Here's the other Genesis Live, The Way We Walk, and The Shorts. And this is another live album, 3 sides live. And I don't think I have anything missing from Genesis collection. Andy Tillison and the Tangent. Robin Armstrong, Cosmograph. Thrack, King Crimson. Camel. Trilogy by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Spock's Beard Live. Spock's Beard. The Oblivion Particle. I think their last album. They're supposed to come out with a new one here pretty soon. Happy the Man, my favorite progressive rock band. I saw them many, many times. Here we go. Live. I Was There. Happy the Man, Crafty Hands. Probably one of my top 10 all-time favorite albums right here. Happy the Man Retrospective, a compilation of both their first albums. And we got Pink Floyd, Obscured by Clouds, Metal, and Adam Hart Mother. And then in the Yes category, we got Going for the One, my favorite Yes album of all time, and Big Generator. And then Fish singing for Marillion here, and Script for a Jester's Tear. And then Steve Hogarth replaced Fish on this album. Season's End, my favorite Marillion. And then this is another Marillion that I got for track, let's see, Memory of Water. Memory of Water, what a great song. Bonus track. Big beat mix. Okay, this is from the day. Troubadour Stuff, Carly Simon, Anticipation. Saw Her in the Cellar Door, Ricky Lee Jones's debut, classic, legendary album. Tom Waits, Looking for the Heart of Saturday Night. Joni Mitchell, Chalk Mark in a Rainstorm. My favorite album of hers is, though, For the Roses. Bill Gable, great little album. There Were Signs. Oh my gosh, Joan Armatrading. Saw her open up for Graham Nash in San Diego one time, but this album is great. Manu Katché on drums. You know, Shadowland. Billy Joel, River of Dreams, great song on here. What is it? All About Soul. That is a great song. Find the video. Heart, got a compilation here of their greatest hits. 85 to 95. Little Feat, Waiting for Columbus. Let's see, Live, and The Who. Who's next? And then The Who again, live at Leeds. Saw this concert years ago, back in the day. And then we got Toto, live in, I guess, Japan. Motley Crue, 20-year thing. Jefferson Airplane, White Snake. These are all great compilation CDs. White Snake, Motley Crue. Here's Busted Pointed Little Head, Jefferson Airplane live, back in the day. This is Jefferson Airplane, the reformulation bands. Human Touch, Bruce Springsteen. Not a bad album. Too many songs though. Beck Bogert and Appice. Classic, legendary, three-piece power trio. Three-piece? Boston. Of course. Don Henley. The End of the Innocence. Check out, anyway, check out this one too. Inside Job. And 4. We'll just call it 4. And then Her.